I've had a weight goal on my mind for the past few months. In this video, I'm going to tell you what it was. I'm going to show you pictures of my progress, how long did it take, and last, what I did to achieve the goal. So my name is Jocelyn. I'm 46 years old, and I'm taking Mounjaro 5 milligrams along with lifestyle changes to get healthier. When I started on this journey with Mounjaro, I made an Excel spreadsheet so I could track my progress. One of the issues I had was I didn't know how much I should weigh, because if you look at my BMI numbers, I'm 5'7". I should weigh somewhere, if I'm in the healthy range, between 118 and 159 pounds. Now that's a huge gap. How do I know when to transition from active dose of Mounjaro to maintenance dose, if that even exists? I don't even know. I've heard that's what people do. So I did a little digging, and I actually found my medical records. Here's my name. It says Jocelyn. So I have these around for quite some time. And I just started doing some digging. And I had something as low as like when I was 11. I think I had some sort of physical or something like that. So at 11, I'm going to skip that one. I don't think that's very relevant to as I am as a grown woman now. And this lasted till about my 20s. I found two numbers that I think show me what goals I could make. The first was my weight at 18, and the other one was my weight at age 17, right before I turned 18 years old. At the age of 18, I was working out 4 days a week, 2 hours a day, taking ballet classes. In addition, I had an undiagnosed overactive thyroid. I had not only a lot of exercise, but I also had the benefits of a revved up metabolism. I was also about 2.5 inches shorter than what I am now. Let's look at those numbers, and I pulled them out. I apologize for the photos as they aren't very clear as I'd like them to be, but I think you still get the point. Now, here are my medical records. I'm 13 years old, 5'4.5" inches tall, and I weighed 124.6 pounds. This is me. And this is right, 13. I was still in middle school, about to go into high school. Based off of this information, I'm going to assume that my lowest weight that my body, let's say, likes is 124.6 pounds. Now, I'm going to assume this is the very bottom goal weight. I did a little bit of extra stuff. I went back and calculated my BMI based off of that height and weight. And this was 21.4, which is normal weight. I then recalculated based off of the current height of 5'7", and that same BMI would be equal to 136.5 pounds. Technically, this is the lowest weight I'm going to try to achieve. Will I reach it? Not sure, but as Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take. But this isn't the real point of the video. I say at the beginning, I had a secret goal that I really hadn't shared. That is that I wanted to reach the weight I was when I graduated high school. Now, this isn't my end goal. My end goal is still trying to determine. Maybe it is that at that 136.5 pounds. I'm not quite sure. But I needed something to kind of give myself like this little push, like, I hit the goal I was when I graduated from high school. Therefore, it gave me something tangible. That's something that I was familiar with. Like, I knew what the size I was. I remember what it was like being at that weight. I was still overweight in high school, but as you can see in a second, I definitely looked a lot healthier than I did before I started on Mounjaro. So let's see what that looked like. Again, I apologize for the photo, but I just wanted to cut some stuff out. So you can see I was 17 years old and I weighed 167.4 pounds. This is my high school graduation picture. This was probably taken, I think, in the fall, so it can be done. Oh, look at those. Look at those braces and those bushy eyebrows. I still have too many bushy eyebrows. The next photo is a full body picture. This is me at prom. And you can definitely see I definitely was, needed to lose a little bit of weight, but not at the point of where I started off. And I'll show you actually those numbers of where I started off on Mounjaro. Now we need to talk about what has been going on recently. So people have asked me what I People have asked me what I use to track my body weight. So my job had a health benefit and provided a program called Omada, which sent me a scale and a blood glucose monitor. I lost that thing. It's somewhere in the house. I've been tracking my blood glucose using this little, the body scammer, Libre, I think it's called, and then taking finger sticks because this one isn't covered by the insurance. It's so much easier just to scan the thing versus having to, and I heard the 3, like you don't even have to scan. So I think once I get done with this last box that I have, I'll definitely move on to the 3. So let's look at Omada and my blood sugar numbers, because one of the things that someone had mentioned in a Facebook group that I'm in, they mentioned that a lot of people have a lot of people talk a lot about their weight loss and don't really talk so much about their blood sugar. So let's see what this looks like. Now, once you see this, you're going to be surprised. I first got it, as you can see, I first got it not too soon after I started working, this is last year. It doesn't have the year on it. Don't know why. So this is last year. 310. Holy moly. Not good. Not good at all. Let's remember that the first date that I started on Mounjaro was February 27th. And so this is 2023, February 24th, of 2024 is what we're striving for, looking at going on, starting on Mounjaro. Look at those numbers, 310, all red, all red, all red. In range. I had other, I'm not quite sure when that happened. 12, this is definitely after lunch. At the end of the day, then you see high. Look at those numbers, red high. Now, here is where we are going to transition from 2023 down to 2024. Here you go. Look at that. So I'm starting to now, but right before this, right about this time, I did see my endocrinologist, and she had put me on Jardiance. So I'm currently on metformin, Jardiance, glimepiride, and Mounjaro. And we can see that there is some changes. Now, I saw her I don't know why I'm not checking it, not like I should. I think there's a lot more on the scanner thing, but right about that time, here is where you can see I started on Mounjaro and started checking it because the numbers were still really high. Now the 24th is when I started, and most of it was I wasn't really so much tracking it. Still a little high. Then we starting to see some really good numbers, but they're still all green. And you can see I mostly checked fasting. This one was a little bit high. I think I went out and partied or something. But fasting, even a little bit of a low after lunch. So when people want to know how is Mounjaro helping out with blood sugar, this is what this looks like. And this was some kind of weird day. This was before. I don't know why it's off on that. Those numbers are amazing. I wouldn't have been able to get those on my own, not without Mounjaro. Before I go into the weight, what is your ideal weight? Have you set yourself goals, and what are they? Last, please consider subscribing to my channel and sharing this video to those who may benefit from it. Now, let's take a look at my weight. Let's look at what I looked like in high school and look at what I've looked like recently. Before I go on, I did want to point out a few things that I had written down that I wanted to point out. I did not have a double chin, and you'll see this when you look at some recent pictures. My neck is very smooth, and you can see my collarbones. This is me at prom. Can't really see my collarbones, but you kind of can see them. This would be May of the year I graduated, but you can definitely see a much more of a waist, nice trim legs. My arms aren't too fat. You can see I don't have, starting to get a little bit of a double chin, but my neck is still smooth. And the reason why I point these out, because this is what I looked like compared. This is me on my face in high school. Again, I apologize. This was, I graduated in 95, so these pictures had to be scanned. This is me in September. Notice the double chin, the fat rolls on my neck. You definitely can't see my collarbones. It's a lot of fat face, fat cheeks, everything. This is me this morning. I'm still having, I think this was the neck chin is the neck stuff is probably just the way my body kind of looks. Maybe when I turn the camera back on, we'll see what I look like. But definitely a lot less, you start to kind of see my collarbones. I still have a little bit of a double chin. My neck, I think this is probably has to do a lot more with, still a little bit of a fat neck. I'm still overweight, still a bit of a fat neck. But I'm starting to see, like if I lean over a little bit, you can see my collarbones. So that's a big difference there. Let's go on. This is the last photo. This is me full body in high school graduating. This was November. Look at how my shoulders are. You can see the double chin, the neck rolls. You can see the gut here. You see kind of how big my arms are. And this is me this morning. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of full body pictures. I take a lot of selfies and I don't know where all the other ones are, but you can definitely see the difference in the way that I look in my legs, in my arms, even like look at the hands. So you can see the hands are little fat hands. Even my hands are a lot thinner. How much did I weigh about November, September? I don't know. I wasn't checking it. I tried to check, but I know if I wasn't 200, I was hitting 200. 199, 200, 201. I think when I went to the doctor in November, I was right at 199 pounds. So it was 199, 201. So I was about 200 pounds. Now, let's look at the progress looking at Omada. When I first got the scale, I was 199.5 pounds. I lost a little bit, gained a little bit, gained a little bit, then gained a whole bunch. So this is 213.6. This is about the highest I have weighed in the past couple of years. And as you can see, I just said, screw it. I didn't want to check it anymore. As you can tell, I stopped looking. Like, who wants to face the truth? Not me. Now let's go on to 2024. Let's start with the 24th. Which is let's start with the 23rd. This is when I say this was the day before I started on Mounjaro. So I say the highest weight that I was 196.6 and a little bit less when I actually got on the scale that morning. But I like to say 196. I mean, it was 0.4 pounds. It was 196. One thing I want you to notice is the fact that there's a little bit of down, there's up, there's down, down, big down. And let's keep looking. Down, up, but it's been sort of consistent. This one is at a pretty much kind of flatlined. You see where there's a big drop at the beginning, which typically happens with any weight loss. You drop a lot at the beginning, and then as you move on, you begin to lose. You start to kind of plateau on the weight loss. A little bit of a dip, then an up, and this is if you've seen the video, I gained like 5 pounds. I was really disappointed. I got down to 170s and then creeped all the way back up. So this is a great way to keep track of things. And here we are today at 166.4 pounds. Today, I weighed exactly 1 pound less than I weighed about 30 years ago. This is a total weight loss of 30.2 pounds, and it did take me 54 days. I'll admit that I haven't lost a lot of weight in 30 years. I have been obese or overweight practically my entire adult life. No, not practically. I have been overweight or obese my entire adult life. You see this, 17. A couple of days later, I think it was about 6 days before I turned 18. I have been overweight or obese my entire adult life. Mounjaro has really made a difference in my life, and I wish everyone who needs it could be on it. But I know that there are financial issues with people not being able to take it because their body does not respond well to the drug. What this drug did for me is to give me hope. I see progress when I have tried for years and have failed miserably. So what did I do? How did I do this? Multiple things. Number one, I take Mounjaro, 5 milligrams. I've been on 5 milligrams the entire time. I'm on my third box. I have really no desire to try titrate up right now. I think I'm doing pretty well, but if that becomes the issue, I've heard of some people being on the same dosage their entire time. So, but if that happens, then that happens. I'm taking my medication, my Jardiance, my thyroid medication, all the other stuff I have to take. I'm exercising about 5 to 8 days a week. Remember, when I was 13, remember how skinny I was? I was working out 8 hours a week doing ballet. I feel that my body responds really well to exercise. That's why I try to get as much exercise as I can. Tracking my progress as I'm working out. So a lot of times what I hear people do is they like, oh, I'm walking a mile or I walk 10 minutes. Okay, you need to push yourself. So I even say to my goals, I need to up the weight a little bit. So on the strength training, I need to do a little bit more mileage and stuff. So I need to push myself. If you've been walking a mile every day for a year or 3 to 6 months, that's what your body is used to. For example, I work from home and I sit on a computer all day long. So getting up and walking around for my body is like, oh, this is brand new stuff. If you are doing some sort of exercise, and it's the same one, you got to push yourself a little bit more. And I'm not talking about drastic stuff. Usually what I do is up it a couple of pounds. For example, if I'm doing 30 pounds of my legs, that's what I do. I don't do anything like crazy or something like that. Then I'll say the next time that I'm going to do this exercise, I'll up it to 35. And I'll do a video on how I do my exercises, and I track everything. Every single time I work out, I look really weird. I walk around the gym with a notebook, make sure I track everything. I track what I'm eating using MyFitnessPal. I switched to a mostly vegan diet. My maximum caloric goals are 1,182. That is right under the 1,200 mark. And you say, how did I do that? I said, what's my basal metabolic rate? How much does it take for me to lose 2 pounds a week? And then I did calories on that. So I'm right there. So I'm not too, 20 something pounds, 20 calories away from 1,200 minimum. So I'm definitely not starving myself or anything like that. That's it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I look forward to sharing more of my progress with you and wish you the best luck with your journey on Mounjaro. Take care. See you next time. Bye.